Apple just replaced its installment plan with a lease. Pay $31.99 a month for 2 years, and you have paid $767. Hand the phone back, and you own nothing at all. 4 of this week's biggest announcements came down to the same question: are you buying something or renting it? Apple swapped a phone payment plan for a lease. Amazon and Microsoft both accelerated selling rented compute, and Amazon still cannot build capacity fast enough. OpenAI cut a model price by 80%. Europe put 10 billion euros on the table to own compute rather than rent it. Follow that one thread, and this week's numbers stop looking like separate headlines. Here are the 3 that matter most. On the 28th of July, Apple launched Apple Upgrade in the United States and shut down the iPhone upgrade program and iPhone payments the same day. The legal footnote is blunt: this is a consumer lease, not a purchase or loan, provided by Klarna. Run Apple's own sample numbers. An $1,100 iPhone 17 Pro leases at $31.99 a month. Over 24 months, that is $767, roughly 70% of the retail price. And at the end, you own nothing, unless you pay a buyout. Klarna charges no fee, so the lease plus the buyout comes to exactly $1,100. Think of it as a car lease for your pocket. The monthly payment is smaller because handing the keys back is the default ending. Because it is a lease and not a loan, there is no annual percentage rate to compare. Apple says missed payments will not lock your device, though 3 in a row end the lease and make the balance due. 2 days later, Apple reported its strongest June quarter ever, and the stock fell about 6% after hours. Revenue was $109.4 billion, up 16%. Earnings per share were $2.02, up 29%. So why the drop? 2 lines missed. Services came in around $30.7 billion when the street wanted closer to $31.3, and Greater China came in around $18.8 against roughly $19.5. Both still grew. They simply grew less than promised. It is like a student bringing home their best report card ever, with the 2 subjects they said they would ace a grade lower than expected. Services is Apple's recurring revenue argument, and China is its growth argument. Miss on both, and a record quarter gets priced as a warning. This was also Tim Cook's 90th and final earnings call. John Ternus takes over on the 1st of September. While Apple's services line disappointed, the 2 companies renting compute by the hour accelerated. Microsoft's Azure grew 43% and crossed $100 billion of annual revenue for the first time, with Microsoft 365 Copilot passing 30 million paid seats, up from 20 million in April. A day later, Amazon Web Services grew 36.7% to $42.2 billion, its fastest growth in 18 quarters. Andy Jassy said AWS is booming, and that the AI and chips businesses each passed run rates above $25 billion. Then he said, the line that matters most: Amazon expects to spend about $220 billion on capital this year and still will not have enough capacity to meet demand in 2026. Picture a restaurant with a queue out the door that keeps building bigger kitchens and still turns people away. The constraint is not demand, it is supply. 3 more, quickly. OpenAI cut the price of GPT 5.6 Luna by 80%, from $1 to 20 cents per million input tokens, 3 weeks after shipping it. Terra came down 20%. The flagship, Sol, was untouched. The same day, OpenAI said Sol's public ARC-AGI3 score rises from 7.8% under the official harness to 38.3% through its own API, with 2 settings enabled. Treat that number carefully. It is vendor-reported and contested. Europe opened bidding for up to 7 AI gigafactories, backed by up to 10 billion euros. Each site specified for more than 100,000 advanced processors, with bids closing on the 12th of November. And Nscale agreed to buy Anyscale, the company behind the open-source Ray framework, for a reported $1.65 billion. So what do you do with this? If you replace your phone every year, Apple Upgrade is built for you. If you keep hardware until it dies, the buyout is the only path that ends in ownership, and it costs the same as paying cash. Multiply the monthly payment out yourself, because a lease will not show you a percentage rate. If you build on the API, reprice your inference contracts this month, an 80% cut changes what is affordable at volume. And if a vendor quotes a benchmark, ask which settings produced it. This week in one line, Apple made the monthly number smaller and moved ownership behind a buyout, posted a record quarter the market read as a warning, and the cloud accelerated while its supplier admits $220 billion still will not buy enough capacity. Every figure comes from the filings and announcements linked in the description. Turn on notifications for the next episode and check the buyout before you sign.